When a player can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, no matter how good they might be as an impact sub, that has to be rewarded. What's up guys, it's James from CopLogic. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm just going to talk about Darwin Nunez. There's no script, there's no nothing. I just want to talk about what happened yesterday and talk about Darwin Nunez and why he absolutely has to start for this Liverpool side, in my opinion. Before we do dive into it, don't forget, if you are enjoying the content, make sure you give us a like and subscribe if you aren't already, to stay up to date with everything going on with Liverpool Football Club in and outside of this transfer window. Get your comments in down below. Let me know what you think about the game yesterday. Let me know what you think about Darwin Nunez. So let's start off with what just happened yesterday. First of all, Darwin Nunez has just won us 3 points. Like, make no mistake, Darwin Nunez won us that game, and I take absolutely nothing away from Alisson when I say that. It was an incredible performance by Alisson, but he can make 40 saves in that game and we still don't win it. Without the 2 goals from Darwin Nunez, we can't win that game. Goals win games. Darwin Nunez won us that game. Of course, Alisson gave him the platform to go on and do what he did. I'll get on to Alisson. I've got some stuff I want to say about Alisson, some important things I think that are worth talking about with Alisson, so make sure you stick around. We are going to talk about Alisson, but first of all, I want to talk about Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez is the physical embodiment of everything Jurgen Klopp wants from a Liverpool player, and the sooner Jurgen sees that, or rather can utilize that, the better things are going to be for Liverpool Football Club. And when I talk about Darwin Nunez as the embodiment of everything Jurgen Klopp wants in a Liverpool player, I'm talking about that never give up attitude. Think about Jurgen Klopp's mentality monsters. That was everything we seen from Darwin Nunez last night. We're talking about a player here who plays with passion, a player that understands what it means to be a Liverpool player, a player that's playing for the badge, a player that wants to win stuff at Liverpool, whether it's a trophy or whether it's just 3 points. The point is, this guy has got a winner's mentality. Every time he's on the pitch, he's just trying to win. He's just trying to score goals. He's just trying to do what he does best. Despite all the adversity, despite all the negativity, all the criticism that's thrown at him, he still comes on and he just does what he's got to do, and he got it done. It's been an interesting start to the season for Darwin Nunez. I thought he had an absolutely brilliant pre-season. I thought he was probably the best player that we had pre-season. Him and Mo Salah were absolutely lightning duo in pre-season, and then all of a sudden towards the end, the last couple of games, he got dropped, and it was clear then that he wasn't going to start the season, because you can always tell those last couple of games are the setup that you're going to run with as you go into the season. And the fact that he wasn't featuring, you could tell Jurgen Klopp clearly didn't have him in his plans. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Darwin hasn't even started a game all season. The last game he played, he came on in the 85th minute, so Jurgen Klopp gave him 5 minutes, which I was really disappointed with. And I mean, if we go back, every week on this channel I've been an advocate for Darwin Nunez. I've always spoke about how I believe that Darwin and Salah have had the best link up. Now, Darwin and Salah did link up last night, it got us a goal, so you know, I'm just saying. But Darwin could quite very easily have come on and sort of been a ghost, and you couldn't really have blamed him. When you think about the situation, Darwin Nunez came on in 77 minutes. We were a man down and we were a goal down. The last game Darwin played, he came on in the 85th minute. In this game, he brings Diogo Jota on. It's not until the 77th minute Jurgen Klopp decides to put Darwin Nunez on. So once again, Darwin Nunez was last in Jurgen Klopp's mind. He was last in Jurgen Klopp's plans. The first person he thought of when he wanted to refresh that attacking front line was Diogo Jota. Now I'm saying Jurgen Klopp was wrong, because there was very well a reason that he put Darwin on when he did, and we're going to get into that. What I'm saying is, Darwin could have very easily come on disappointed. He could have come on and ghosted the game. He could have come on and felt like, why even bother? Why would you even put me on in this? Because let's be honest, what Jurgen Klopp sent him onto was an absolute shit show. We had 10 men and we had a 1-goal deficit. It's almost like you're setting a player up for failure in that situation, but what he's actually done is set him up for success. Is set him up to prove his doubters wrong. Is set him up to give him a moment in his Liverpool career that I'm hoping is going to be pivotal. I'm hoping is going to be a catalyst to drive him forwards and show people that were criticising him what he can do. Show Jurgen Klopp what he can do. Show Jurgen Klopp that he shouldn't be on Liverpool's bench. Show some of the fans that he should be at this club, because there have been fans as well in the Liverpool fan base that have criticised this player, and what he's done last night was snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. And when a player can snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, no matter how good they might be as an impact sub, that has to be rewarded. So Darwin Nunez comes on in the 77th minute. 81 minutes in, he scores a goal. 93 minutes, he scores a goal. Liverpool go on to win the game 2-1. Even if you want to say, well, Botman made a mistake for the first goal, the ricochet, well, Darwin was still there. He was still there to capitalise on that moment. And the shot, both shots were absolute world-class finishes. They were not easy angles. He pretty much had to hit that far post and have it ricochet into the goal. That was the only way that was going in. That, you know, Nick Pope was set up to save those, both of them. Nick Pope would have got there if they weren't exactly pinpoint accuracy. I think Peter Drury even said in the game he gave himself a bullseye and he hit it. And as Gary Neville said as well, very rightly so, he probably felt certainly in that first goal like the whole world was watching. And let's just talk, when we talk about passion, when we talk about a player playing for the badge, that initial celebration from the first goal, the way he collapsed after the celebration, you could tell. The scream that he let out after he scored, you could tell when he came onto that pitch. The only thing in Darwin Nunez's mind was, I'm scoring today. I'm going to score today, and I'm going to send a message to Jurgen Klopp that I do not deserve to be on this bench. I don't even know if he was thinking about winning the game. Maybe he was just thinking about rescuing a point. I don't know. But his goal was definitely to score. It's kind of like when, if you ever play a player career in FIFA, as you're coming on off the bench, it brings up those targets and it's like, score a goal, avoid a loss. That was Darwin Nunez yesterday. Score a goal, avoid a loss, and he did it. And not only did he do it, he got us a win. We didn't just avoid a loss. He dragged us out of the fire into the golden glow of 3 points. And it could be absolutely pivotal at the end of the season, because let's not forget, Newcastle are top 4 competitors. We don't know what the table's going to be like towards the end of the season, but that could be huge. We've been away now to St James's Park and we've come away with all 3 points. There are certainly some downsides to Darwin Nunez. The biggest one, and I think it is a stickler for Jurgen Klopp, is that he still can't speak fluent English. Jurgen mentioned yesterday that he didn't give Darwin any instructions. Pep Linders gave him his instructions. If the player can't talk with the manager, it's definitely an issue. You'd want them to be able to converse. You'd want Jurgen to be able to deliver his instructions to a player directly. What we can say is that Darwin is at least trying. He is learning. We've seen him already in pre-season speaking a little bit of English here and there in the behind-the-scenes stuff. We even seen a little bit of English last night. And while I'm here, I might as well talk about Alisson Becker. But Alisson Becker, in that interview at the end of the game, towards the end of the interview, he tells Darwin, as he's wrapping up with his final words, not in Portuguese, do it in English. And initially Darwin says no. You can tell that's because he's nervous about speaking in English, but Alisson Becker would never force him to do that if he didn't think he was capable. Obviously Nunez knows enough. He knows little bits. We've seen him say little bits in the behind the scenes stuff, and Alisson in that moment knew, you know enough to get a little bit out here. I'm gonna coax it out of him. Obviously, as I say, he's nervous about speaking English, but the fact that Alisson managed to coax it out of him and get him to speak some English, I think that's such a huge captain mentality. You're forcing a player who might be nervous about using his English to talk on live TV, and those moments will only give him confidence to use it more. And I think if we actually just talk about Alisson Becker's performance in general, the save that he made from the Almiron shot, that's what gave us the platform to go on. That was like a catalyst in that game that changed the game. It turned things around, and it made Liverpool believe that maybe we can rescue something from this game. The fact that he was able to stay switched on 100%, even after, despite everything that had happened, the player had been sent off, we were already a goal down. The fact that he's that keyed on and ready to go, and he's not a defeatist kind of player, is that must-win attitude. He clearly still believes, despite the fact he can't really do anything to change it himself because he's not going to be up there scoring goals, he still made that save. It was a captain's performance from Alisson Becker, and I think the way he acted off the pitch as well as on the pitch was also a captain's performance. The way he coaxed Darwin to speak a little bit of English there at the end, the way he wrapped things up afterwards. I don't know if you've seen the behind-the-scenes stuff where he was praising Nunez afterwards as well on Instagram. I really think, and it's obviously too late to change things, but I think Jurgen Klopp could have got it wrong with Virgil van Dijk. I think Alisson Becker could have been the man for the job in terms of wearing the captain's armband. I'll hold my hands up and say I wanted it to be Trent. I've always had my concerns about Van Dijk as a captain at Liverpool Football Club. I don't think he performs best last season. Anytime he had the armband, he always had a bad game. I think it might be a little bit too much pressure on him. We might have seen that bleed into last night a little bit. I don't know. I do think Alisson Becker could have been the man for the job, and we might have missed a little bit of a trick there. But getting back to Darwin Nunez, because that's really what this is about. After Virgil van Dijk came off, Luis Diaz had to come off. What that did was it forced Liverpool to play with 2 target men up front. Darwin Nunez was the perfect man for that job. Now, he didn't get to show that until late. That is the key to Darwin Nunez, that way of playing. 77 minutes he come on, and I've said this already, that he didn't sulk, he didn't ghost the game, but it's the fact that he came on, and from the very first second he got on that pitch, he attacked the game, he attacked the ball, he ran at defenders, he was constantly hanging on that back line, he wanted to score goals, you could see that, the passion was there, the drive was there to win. I understand why Jurgen Klopp has brought him on, a player like that. Darwin Nunez, what he is explosive, is fast, and is unpredictable. If we could just develop a system that better catered to the way Darwin plays, we could see this kind of performance much more often, and it doesn't have to be at the end of a game to try and snatch victory. It doesn't have to be to try and rescue a game or rescue a point. It could be to just win Liverpool games. This guy, there's no reason why this guy couldn't become Liverpool's starting striker. There's no reason. I think Cody Gakpo obviously can simulate that false 9 role, and that's what Jurgen Klopp wants. Jurgen Klopp has spoke in the past about the fact that Darwin doesn't get back and defend. Now, I would argue that that's just not Darwin's game, and if we could adapt the team to cater for that, we could actually see this player explode. But what I will say is Darwin definitely has been trying to change that. He's been trying to add that to his game. Yesterday, he attempted to make a tackle on the edge of our penalty area. Now, he wasn't successful in the tackle, but what it did do was slow down and break down the play for Newcastle. So he's definitely trying to do it, and that just shows again that he's willing to adapt. I do think there's got to be some leeway from Jurgen Klopp. We can't turn Darwin Nunez into Roberto Firmino. We bought Darwin Nunez, and I believe Jurgen Klopp bought Darwin Nunez in order to give Liverpool another string to their bow, another means of attack. And we have the players now to utilise that. Dominic Szoboszlai, very creative. He's able to get up there. He's able to play those creative balls into a player like Darwin Nunez, and Alexis McAllister is very much the same kind of player as well. And obviously we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold. All of these players, they could work together to perform a very, very exciting, creative environment for a player like Darwin Nunez to thrive in, and I think that's got to be something that Jurgen Klopp needs to look at going forwards. And maybe it's about picking the right game, and if that's the case, then that's fair enough. There'll be games where we've got to be a bit more calculated, where we've got to take a little bit more time on the ball, and those will be the games where Cody Gakpo starts in that false 9 position. But there will be games where we can just go at teams, where we want someone on that back line threatening defenders, where we want someone running them ragged, we want someone unpredictable, someone explosive, someone exciting like Darwin Nunez. And really, just to finish up, what I want to say is I'm really happy for Darwin Nunez. Obviously, everyone's happy we got the 3 points yesterday. It was a game that we certainly didn't deserve 3 points from, even if you look at the stats, the XG. You know, Darwin has done unbelievably well in those closing minutes to get those 2 goals. But this is a really great moment for him as a player, for him as like his Liverpool character arc. This is a massive moment for him. I hope it's a catalyst that he can use to springboard himself off of and become that striker that everyone's seen at Benfica. Let's just remember, he had a better debut season than Sadio Mane last season. He had a better debut season than Luis Suarez. And if he gets enough time in this Liverpool side this season, who knows what he could be capable of? Who knows where his ceiling is? Who knows what he could do at this Liverpool side? But I think it's very exciting. I think it's massive for him that he managed to show yesterday what he is capable of. Shout out to Alisson Becker and Darwin Nunez for carrying the squad yesterday when our captain got sent off, when our vice captain lost his head. But of course, Darwin Nunez, who came on, snatched victory from the jaws of defeat, won us the 3 points. What a game. It's definitely going to be one to remember this season already. We're only a couple of weeks in. Get your comments in down below. Let me know what you think about the game yesterday. Let me know what you think about Darwin Nunez, whether you agree with me or not. Let me know if you think Darwin Nunez should start next week. I absolutely believe that he should. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed the content, give us a like, make sure you hit subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Vamos!